Right, hello, I'm Debs. This is Debs Made This. Welcome. This is my birthday bonanza edition. I've just had a birthday. As you can imagine, I asked for some sewing related goodies. My main present was not sewing related. It was a leather jacket, so I won't share that with you, although you probably see it on my Instagram at some point in the future. Apologies in advance if you can hear a puppy dog padding around or chewing something in the background. I am wearing a Marilla Walker Nautilus top, this is a wearable toile. It was just made in some not really very precious fabric. So this is a lawn that came from Fabric Godmother about 3 years ago, and I thought I would toile this top while I decide whether my Nanny Hero double gauze is going to become this or the Donny shirt that I shared a few weeks back. I really like this. It's got a little grown on sleeve. There's a couple of versions, one with a round neck and one with this V with these little buttons. This is a kind of in-between size print, and I couldn't quite decide what I wanted to do with it. So it's become this, and I quite like it. So we've had a bit of a saga with some of the presents. So I'm going to share with you, I bought some patterns, real paper patterns as a special treat, and a printed PDF pattern from the Fold line. I was really good. They sat in an envelope for 3 weeks. I did not even open the envelope until the morning of my birthday, as my family can attest. I was very well behaved. I have a couple of patterns that I got from the Cone Exchange, which is a recycling textile place close to us. And I had some fabric that came from Fabworks, some fabric that came from the Cone Exchange, some fabric that was given to me by a friend. And so I shall share those with you. And I have been making a couple of toiles, so I shall probably share those if I don't run out of time. This is the second time of recording this because I recorded it all the first time without any audio. Right, so the first ones are the Fold line ones. So I have had my eye on these for a while. In fact, I like all of her range, but there you go, we shall see. So this is the Pattern Fantastique Fen shirt, which is really nice. You see, I think these are all a bit cool for me, but I'm kind of trying to make things that are out of my comfort zone at the moment to see if we can kind of explore some different styles. So we'll see. So this is the Fen shirt. Super breezy drop shoulder and batwing style sleeve balanced by a nipped in high hemline and cuffs. 3 collar and 2 cuff options to choose from to mix and match. So yeah, it's quite cool. That's the backline drawing as well, if you want to see that. And I just like the look of this. I'm not sure. I mean, you know, you can't tell, can you? I just thought it's my birthday. I'm going to buy things that are just a little bit different. And the other one from the same pattern company is the Harmonic Set top and skirt. So this has this circular keyhole neckline and a balloon sleeve, and then an optional wave detail, so you can put that wave detail on the sleeves if you want to. And the skirt similarly has kind of a faux sheared, so it's made by narrow elastic channels. And I think I've probably talked about on this channel before, because I don't like how shearing feels against my wrist and things. This goes up to a bust of 57 and a bit inches and a hip 59 and 13/16 inches. And I think the Fen shirt is slightly smaller size range, goes to a 26, I think, whereas this goes to it'll be Australian, won't it? Australian size 30. Yes, so I'm quite excited to be getting that made. I've got fabric potentially to do the top on its own in, and then I have fabric to do both the set in. I also have a colour blocked version in my head, but I'm going to make a plain version first of all and kind of see how I get on. So the other one, the one I got printed out, comes in this lovely envelope, and then they give you like a little a card to wrap your stuff on. So I'm quite pleased with that. I haven't unparceled it, and I just asked them to print out one size, just to kind of make life easier, really, because the whole point of doing that was so that I didn't have to like trace and cut and stick and things. But I mean, I will have to trace, but you know what I mean. I just was trying to keep it as simple as possible. So they are the Otis overalls by So Liberated. So I have had my eyes on this since it came out. But again, this was another one that I was like, I don't know if I'm really kind of cool enough to pull that off. And should as a middle-aged woman, should I be wearing dungarees? I started a hashtag on Instagram a few years ago, which was middle-aged dungaree lover. And I love my dungarees. I have a pair of Yantas which I adore, which are made in a viscose linen, like kind of lavendery purpley colour. And everything about that make was designed to be unsuccessful. It wasn't really a colour I liked, it wasn't a style I liked, and I love those. And they have been worn and worn and worn over the last 4 years so much. So I think I might do a vlog all about dungarees. So if that's something that interests you, I'm going to do the ones that I'm going to make and the ones that I've already made and kind of compare and contrast them. And then I'll take you with me as I make this pair. And I've also just bought the Burnside bibs, and I have a toile of a wrap pair, which I'll show you at the end as long as I remember. But anyway, so yeah, I'm kind of in the process of doing the makes that go with that. So I may as well make you a vlog to go with it. The other pattern I bought, so this was bought last week. This was kind of, I think I might have bought this for myself on my birthday. So this is the Summer Vibes dress by May Apparel. That's the pictorial representation. I'm not sure about this lady's proportions. I think she might be a bit disproportionate for real life. And that is the line drawing of the same pattern. Now, this pattern company isn't a pattern company. They make handbags. The lady designs and creates handbags that you buy. But she released a top pattern, which I haven't bought. It was free. And Sam at Frugalissima made it during So Frugal, which is how I kind of became aware of it. But when she released this dress pattern, I really liked it and I wanted it. It does remind me a little bit of the Varley dress, but everybody had a nightmare with the construction of that. So when this came out, and I could see that it was kind of fitted around the bodice, but and to kind of here, and fitted in at the back, I just thought that this might be a better option for me. So yeah, I'm going to try it and I shall let you know how I get on. I think she said it's designed to be made of an Indian cotton, like a block print type weight fabric. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to make it in. I do have a gingham, which I'll show you in a second, which I thought might work if I was doing a top version. Just to kind of twirl the instructions and see how I felt about it before I made it with anything expensive. But there's been a Liberty fabric waving at me recently. And so when I get the rest of my voucher from the other side of the family, that may occur. Now, I had promised myself that I wasn't buying any more Liberty until I've sewn at least one of the 3 pieces that I have in my stash at the moment. So yeah, watch this space. Sew the Precious may well be occurring. So the Cone Exchange is where the other 2 patterns that I've got came from. So this is a recycling place close to me, which started by Betty's of Harrogate, which are Taylor's of Harrogate or Betty's of Harrogate, one of the 2 tea places in Harrogate, who had like cardboard things that they wanted to donate into the community for people to use for crafting, and it kind of grew from there. And so now you can go and get buttons, yarn, fabric, patterns, all sorts of bits and bobs of things. It's sometimes a little bit random, but I really like it as just a place to go and mooch. Things are not expensive. The patterns were £1 each, and neither of them are quite right, to be honest. So one of them doesn't fit me, so I would have to grade it up, and the other one is not seasonally appropriate. But I doesn't get left behind. I nearly left it behind, but I couldn't. Look at those. I just thought this was completely adorable. It really reminded me of the Harriet blouse, I think it's called, by Sew It Curly, with that really nice collar. And I thought, well, even if I can't wear the blouse, I could put the collar and sleeve detail on one that can fit me. So that was £1. And I also bought an Izzy Misiaki Vogue pattern, which is the coat, the shirt, and a pair of trousers. So I'm not sure this is really my style easy, but I was just entranced by the shape of the coat. I just thought it looked fantastic. I should show you the style lines on the back. So I thought that was just really interesting. So I shall let you know if I make that, how I get on. So, sorry, big bang as that drops to the floor. The other things that I got from there was I bought fabric. Now, I apparently don't need any more fabric. I have a lot of fabric. This one, I could not walk past because it is purple. and it is gingham. And it's very lovely. It's only narrow. It's only about 90 narrow. So I could make a top version of that Summer Vibes dress in this, and I think that would look really cute. I might end up with quite poofy sleeves, but you know, we could go with that as a thing. My other option is that I might make a top and trouser combo, or like a little, I don't think I'd get the saguaro out of it, but like maybe could do a shorts version of the saguaro in it, but or a shirt. I would quite like a gingham check shirt. But there you go. So I really like that. I think that was 3 and a bit meters for £7. So there you go. The other thing I bought, I nearly put this back. This hasn't been washed because it's wool, and I haven't quite decided. So this was 3 meters and it's 150 wide, and I paid £15 for it. So it was £5 a meter, which for the Cone Exchange is really expensive. But in terms of like real life prices for a really beautiful quality wool, I mean, look at the drape on that. It's just stunning. I mean, it obviously is made to make very beautiful men's tailoring, or ladies tailoring, I suppose. But that's in my head. It's like expensive trousers, and I could do that. I could do wide leg trousers and a waistcoat. I finished recently the Liliana vest by Vicky Sows, and although it's not quite, I did it as a toile, and it's not quite how I want it to be. I need to make a couple of tweaks to it, but I think I could quite easily sew a waistcoat and a pair of trousers out of this. I obviously have nowhere to wear currently a pair of trousers and a waistcoat, but I really tried to keep putting this down. I put it down 4 times and went back and picked it up, and just as we were leaving, I couldn't let it go. I couldn't put it down, and it was £15. So yeah, shoot me. And it is very lovely, but what I can't do is have it and then not make it into something. So it has to either be made into something, or go into the stash, but with a very clear idea about what it's going to be. It's just lovely though. Such nice fabric. Also this week came across, I shall tag the lady. So I think she's called Sewing Through Fog is the maker. And there's the resource for reusing fabric. So it's the reuse fabric resource. And what she's trying to put together is a map of places around the world where you can buy thrifted, recycled, reused textiles. And so I've sent the Cone Exchange to be added to that map. So I just thought I would share that. I hadn't seen that before. I've also shared it with Zoe, who does the Check Your Thread podcast, because I thought that would be a way to get lots of people to know about it. So yes, have a look at one that's local to you. Again, I shall try and put a link down below. Right, I have got some fabric that I was given by my lovely friend Anne. So there was a few bits and pieces, but this is a bit that I wanted to show you, was this lovely cornflower boot cotton. I think it's cotton. It feels a bit like a kind of sheeting weight. It's about 140 wide, I think, and it's a really lovely colour. So I think I might toile the top of that harmonic set in this, and then use the rest to make one of the pair of dungarees that I'm making. I mean, I could do the whole harmonic set, but I think I would need to paint it or embroider it or something if I had a whole outfit in this colour, because I've fallen foul of that before. When I have a whole plain outfit, I sometimes feel a bit overwhelmed by the colour. Doing that face because the other 2 fabrics that I've got are plain coloured, but there you go, it's fine, all will be fine. So I have from Fabworks. Fabworks have a new range of linen twill. If you are in the UK, they are, I'm sure you've heard about them, they are in Wakefield. They're a really nice fabric company. They tend to do end of line stuff, and they have their own wools and tweeds and something else, but this is their linen, their house linen that's just come in. So it's described as light to mid-weight. I'm not sure they gave a weight percentage on the website, but this is how it drapes. So it's slightly lighter than I was expecting, I think. I'm not quite sure why, but I kind of just thought it would be a smidge heavier. But to be honest, for the things that I'm making, it's probably better that it's not. So I have a navy one. which is kind of a blue navy rather than a very dark navy. And that is going to be Burnside bibs, I think. And I also have this lovely colour. I think that was maybe called Deep or something. I'll link it down below. And then there's this one, which is some kind of ocean something. But again, the same fabric, the same base. And so has like a linen slub to it. It creases as you'd expect it to do. And it has that nice drape to it. And so this is going to be my harmonic set in the first instance. And we will see how we get on. The other fabric I got from them is described as a viscose twill shirting, I think, and is a really like a soft, it's a nice weight and a nice handle. And this is going to be the Sewing Maison, an Axis or an Atlas or something like that. I'll put a picture. It's the one that's like a shirt at the top and a wrap skirt at the bottom, and they're joined together. And I just thought, if I make it in this first of all, you could wear this kind of in a variety of situations. It could be dressed up or it could be dressed down, as we always say. But you know what I mean? You could put it on with your sandals or your Birkenstocks or whatever and go wherever. Or you could put it on with a pair of heels and a nice necklace, and you could wear it anywhere. So that was the other one. That one was £5 a metre, I think, and the viscose, no, and the linen twills were £10 a metre. So still really good value. Now I do have one more fabric that I was going to show you to try and get ideas from you. So this is a linen rib knit, which came from the Organic Textile Company, which is one of my favourite companies. So it is your typical rib knit, but it doesn't have any elastane in it, and so it doesn't have any stretch or recovery. And I'm kind of wondering what I'm going to do with this. I thought what I could do is to make a sweater and then put rib, like other stretchy rib, in the neckline. Or I could do like a Blackwood cardigan or something like that, and again use something more stretchy. I mean, I think if you did a Blackwood, I'm not sure it needs to stretch very much. I might need to size it up on things to just get enough that things weren't bagging out of shape. But I don't know. I only asked for a metre and they've sent me a lot more, as they sometimes do. But yeah, I'm not quite sure. So if you have any ideas, could you let me know down below? I'm sure somebody will have an idea for me, won't they? It's not quite, I don't know quite why it isn't quite what I was expecting. I just thought it would perhaps have a little bit more recovery than it's got. And it's got like mechanical stretch and recovery from the rib. So yeah, I don't think it's going to work for like little vest tops, because I think it'll just bag out. I think I could do the Helen's Closet, called the Lunar Tank, you know, the free one that had got like a it's like an A-line shape, so that kind of wafts a bit. So I could make that out of it, I suppose, and then that could go over the top of my shorts, maybe. Don't know. Suggestions, please. And then I've been doing toiles. I've made so many toiles. So when I made this Nautilus top, I made a pair of bob pants as shorts in the same fabric, just because I got a little bit left. And I promptly went on and made a long pair of toiles, which are currently in the wash because I've worn them to take the dog for a walk 3 times this week. And I have also made another pair, so I shall show you those to you another time. The other thing I've been toiling is the Helen's Closet Reynolds top, which was on special offer, I think, last week or this week. And so I've made the cropped version. I made a couple of adjustments to it, including dropping the bust line, but I have a plan involving, excuse me a second, these. So in line with what I said before about things being a bit dull when they're completely plain, I kind of have a plan to paint this. Now, I did and ah about painting the fabric before I made the toile, but because I didn't know what adjustments I'd made, I didn't think that seemed very sensible. I could obviously embroider this, because I've done that before. I quite like doing that. But I just quite like the idea of going on a painting the fabric adventure. So that might well be happening. If I do it, I shall try and record it just so you can see what I get up to. The other toile that I've made is these wrap dungarees. So these were released by Ready to Sew, who are a French company, last week or the week before, and I literally bought them as soon as they were released just because I was fascinated. So this is my very toilet toile. This is made from a very old bed sheet, which had really was no use for anything other than me experimenting. And so what happens is, this is made with bias. The straps are made with bias, and then it has a wrap, so that the leg seam at the back comes and wraps around the front and ties right at the front. So I shall put in a picture of her version so you can see. She has been really helpful. I was having some issues with this, and I think I've sorted them out now. But I graded. They suggest you grade if your waist is in a higher size than your hip, and mine was it one size? I think mine was 1 or 2 sizes bigger. But I thought I'd better do as I was told, and so I graded up. But what's happened is I've ended up with the bib is too wide really for my body, so I've kind of got an excess of material. So I'm trying to work that out. So that is my work in progress for this week, and it is real head scratcher because of the shape of the pieces. So that may well sit there for a little bit longer. Right. The other thing, you may remember I made a dress for a friend of mine for her birthday, and she is not somebody who routinely wears dresses, and she was delighted with her dress, so that made me very happy. She sent me a picture and she said I was allowed to use it. So here is a picture of her at the garden party at Buckingham Palace. And I haven't shared this before because following that, about 5 days following that, she had a brain hemorrhage. She had an aneurysm in her head, and they won't pop. And she's still alive, but she has got a bit of a road to go to recovery. I was able to see her last week on my birthday, which was the best birthday present. But I kind of wanted to share that with you because I think it's a reminder that we never quite know what's round the corner for us, and that we have one very precious life to live. So we have to take it with both hands, and we have to sew the beautiful fabric, and we have to love the people that we love, and we have to, find the joy in the little things in every day, because you just don't know what's going to come. So, yes, that was my recent news, but I thought I would share with you because she said I could, the picture of her twirling at Buckingham Palace. And she said that day she felt precious and beautiful, because she is precious and beautiful, as are we all. So, yeah, that's it from me. So thank you very much for watching. Please do the likey and subscribey thing if you haven't done it already. There will be the final installment of my spring summer wardrobe edit series coming in the next kind of 10 days or so, and also the dungarees vlog is taking shape a little bit, so that will be coming as well. As usual, if you have any questions about anything, the links are nearly always down in the description box below. If I've forgotten for any reason, feel free to remind me, and comment, give me advice, whatever. You know me, I don't mind. Wherever you are in the world, I hope that you are finding time to rest and replenish, and that you are making some time to make, if that's something that brings you joy. And I shall say bye-bye for now, and I shall see you again soon. God bless. Bye-bye.